Hello! Oh, sorry, wrong end. Okay. And there it goes. Okay, so let's just get into this, okay? Everything's gonna fall, apparently. So, as you can tell by this, and by the title of the video, I'm gonna give you my first impressions of the Animaniacs reboot. Let me catch my breath here. Spinning around in a chair does it to you. So I watched the first 7 episodes, and well, I was hoping to finish the whole thing. I think 7's enough to kind of get out my initial thoughts here. So I don't know. Well, I know the original. First thing I'm going to say here is the humor. All right, there's some good humor in this, but I felt like the original, the adult humor was more subtle. Here, they're just throwing things in your face. Like, there's an episode where they're in, like, a Greek Olympiad or whatever it is, like a contest with this guy who's got this big old muscles and the nipples sticking out, and he's wearing this tight little freaking Speedo thingy, and I'm like, whoa. Okay. It's a little not for kids. It's TV PG, so parental guidance, but I don't know. Like, the human characters look like they're animated like Ren and Stimpy. And that kind of just... It's not as raunchy as Ron and Stimpy. He gives Ren and... Who's... Ron and Stimpy. Who the hell is Ron? It's not as raunchy as Ren and Stimpy. But there's some raunch to it. Like... I don't know. Like... I know they say the word hell. Yakko says dick one time. But he's like... but it's to the nickname for Richard. So, you know, but I don't know. And there's like, the only characters we have are the Animaniacs themselves, the Warner Brothers, you know, Yakko, Wacko, Dot, and Pinky and the Brain. That's it. You see some characters in passing and in pictures, and they actually have an episode that explains where they are. Chicken Boo is disguised as some French guy who... Was he French? Or was he some guy who is trying to capture all the characters from Animaniacs because he wasn't in the reboot. And it's explained that the reason we haven't seen all the other characters is because they're been captured. And Pinky and the Brain were the most recent. That's why they're there. But then after that episode, we still don't see the other characters. You get cameos from like the Good Feathers and characters like that, the Hippos. But for some reason, they only have limited supply of characters. One of the best things about Animaniacs back in the day was that you didn't just have one set of cartoons. You had a whole bunch of other cartoons, which was cool. I liked Mindy and the Dog. I liked the Good Feathers. Good Feathers is one of my favorite sketches, actually. That's it. You know, and the dog and Rita. I forgot the name, but them, and then you know, Chicken Boo and the Hippos and all the other characters. I like them. Not saying I don't like this. I do like it. It's just when you have the same format, each episode, it gets very repetitive. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Because the format for every episode was Warner Brothers cartoon, like Animaniacs cartoon, Pinky and the Brain, more Animaniacs. Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, more Animaniacs. That's what you get. I'm hoping that a second season potentially will expand back to the other cartoons. Because even Dexter's Laboratory, even Dexter's Laboratory switched the middle one. You could have a Dexter cartoon, and then you could have a Dial M for Monkey. Then no Dexter cartoon. Or sometimes Dexter cartoon Justice Friends. Dexter cartoon. They switched it. Sure, it was between those three, but those two. But still, when you have just the same kind of format, and Pinky and the Brain itself gets very repetitive, where it's just they say, I'm going to take over the world, and they do a scheme that doesn't work, because either Pinky messes it up, or it just doesn't work, The repetitiveness doesn't work towards this very well. But there is some good comedy. I will tell you that. I did laugh quite a few times. And this is only the first 7 episodes. My initial thoughts, of course. But I did laugh quite a few times. And, yeah, it's enjoyable. But there are some times where I'm just sitting there going... Just because I don't know what to think about some of the stuff that's going on. Like, they're obviously leaning towards a broader audience. Not just kids, but adults. With a little more push towards the adults. And I'm that's not what the original Animaniacs was. I understand they want to try to do that. Because the whole thing, some people have said that a lot of the best humor in the original Animaniacs was the subtle adult humor. But like I said, here they're shoving it in your face, whether it's this big beefy guy with the nipples sticking out, or it's like some kind of adult joke, it's you go back to being subtle. You don't want to have it shoved in your face, because it's weird to say, but as a father, I probably wouldn't show this to my son. I would show the original Animaniacs, but not this new version. It seems a little too... what the word is, risque? And it's weird for me to say that, because there's quite a few things. I would show my son Beavis and Butthead if I knew my mom... if I knew my mom wasn't going to kick my ass for showing him, I would show him. But my mom would throw me out the goddamn window if I showed him Beavis and Butthead. But I wouldn't show him... Because Beavis and Butthead has adult humor in it, but it's still subtle-ish. Like, there's some things Beavis and Butthead that are stupid, but there's a divide. Like, on one side, you could have Beavis and Butthead, the original Animaniacs, even, like, Rocko's Modern Life. And the other side, you have Ren and Stimpy, South Park, and The Simpsons. Yes, I'm putting Simpsons on the other side with the stuff you wouldn't show your kids. I'm just saying. The Simpsons are a little more adult-oriented, especially nowadays. The older stuff, I think, is okay. Again, the older Simpsons, much like the older Animaniacs, are good to show your kids. The new stuff, not so much. Don't show your kids any South Park. This is weird for me, because I show my kid horror movies, and he likes it. There are ones that are on TV, so they cut out all the gore and nudity, but, but I don't know if I'm not going to... Actually, I shouldn't say I definitely wouldn't show him this, but it would be... I don't know. It's an iffy kind of thing, I don't know. I really don't know. But, did I enjoy it? That is the question. Did I enjoy this? Yes, I enjoyed it. It had me laughing at some points. It had me rolling my eyes at other points. There were some Trump jokes that got me laughing. He was a Cyclops on an island. That was kind of funny. But, yeah, overall, I think it's like in the same spirit as the original, but leaning a little more towards the adult audiences, you can tell. And there are some, I'm not going to spoil everything here, but there are some callbacks to the original, like some quick little snippets of songs, or mention of a song, stuff like that. Like the first episode, I'll talk about the first episode. First episode, like it's got that meta humor. First episode is about them coming back after 22 years. So, yeah, I do want to say, like, what happened to Ralph's shirt? Ralph is the security guard, and let me see if I can find a picture of him here. Here, see, that's Ralph. And he's wearing a blue shirt. And now it looks like he's been wearing that shirt since 1993 because it's all nasty and brown, grayish color. Also, Dr. Scratch and Sniff and Hello Nurse haven't shown up yet. And I wish they would because I love Dr. Scratch and Sniff. But overall, it's enjoyable. Here's what I'll say about the kid thing. If you're gonna have your kids watch it with them. That way, it's kind of, because it's rated TV PG, so parental guidance. Watch it with your kids. Don't, sit them there by themselves and walk away and make yourself some Asian tea. Just, sit there with them and watch it. If you want to have that kind of, if you're unsure you want to watch, that you don't want your kids to watch it with them. And if watching it with them, you're not comfortable with showing your kids that, then turn it off by all means. But if you're enjoying it and your son is enjoying and your kids are enjoying it, maybe. But it's it's your decision ultimately. Ultimately, I would say this is a decent reboot. They did change the theme song a little bit, which has me a little frazzled. Of course, they took out Bill Clinton, but then instead of saying that Dot is cute, it's Dot has wits, which, okay. There is a whole segment, one of the episodes, where Dot tries to get votes for women, or talks about votes for women. Had me rolling my eyes just a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's votes for cartoons. And then that had me laughing a little bit. It's you got to know that what comedy works, what comedy doesn't. When you're going out there shoving women's rights in people's faces, I understand it's 100 years women's rights. That's cool, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays there's too much focus on shoving, women are better than men in your face. That's not what this was at all. I get what they were trying to do, and that's kind of cool, but like I said, overall, it's enjoyable. Watch it with your kids and see if you're comfortable with it. That's all I can say. So what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Have you watched it? Do you have the same things I do? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.